the mystery man from Resident Evil 2 that has not been seen since. However, he is an interesting character, and with a little bit of character development, he could totally be a protagonist or an antagonist for the next Resident Evil title, and I would love to see it. Preferably him as a good guy, though, because, well, he's awesome. Hunk is the name of an Umbrella Security Service operator who was the leader of the ill-fated Alpha Team in the employment of Umbrella. Cold, silent, and devoid of emotion. He is ruthless, and he and the UBCS Sergeant Nikolai Zinov were considered to be rivals. Almost nothing is known about Hunk's history, even his real name. The earliest piece of information relating to him was that he received training at the Military Training Center on Rockford Island in 1996. In only 2 years, Hunk proceeded to carry out a large number of successful operations, many of which he was the only survivor, earning him the nickname Grim Reaper. In mid-September 1998, the Raccoon City incident occurred. Hunk operated as the commander of Alpha Team, with the mission to break into the Raccoon City underground laboratory and steal the G-Virus from Dr. William Birkin as part of an operation called Nest Wrecker. Cornering Birkin in his laboratory, Hunk initially ordered Birkin to come with them, along with the samples. But Birkin was adamant in not surrendering his life's work. Tempted to not hand over his life's work, Birkin tried to pull a handgun out on the Alpha Team, resulting in a USS member, J. Martinez, shooting William with a submachine gun. Hunk berated his subordinate for the action, but some members reasoned his action to be justified, as Birkin tried to resist. He collected the entire case and left the lab, with the samples of the G-Virus, as well as the T-Virus, which were also present in Birkin's case. With their main objective completed, they headed towards the tram in the sewers to reach their extraction point. While en route, they were confronted by Dr. William Birkin, who had injected himself with the last remaining sample of the G-Virus, shortly after being shot. Birkin, now a horrifically mutated monster named G, pursued Alpha Team and exacted revenge. During the fight, the case was spilled, and after killing Hunk's T, G consumed all of the G-Virus samples and crushed the T-Virus samples underneath his feet. Sewer rats became infected by the T-Virus, and the spill spread throughout the city's sewer network, which spread to the water supply. Only Hunk and Miguel survived Birkin's attack, unmoved by his comrade's demise. He focused his efforts on only returning a sample of the virus to his superiors. At last, a week after the confrontation with William, the USS helicopter pilot named Nighthawk contacted the surviving member, Hunk, who was then arranged to meet with him at Raccoon City Police Station's front gate. After making his way through the precinct, Hunk successfully escaped the city by reaching the police station's front gate, where he was greeted by Nighthawk, who wanted to meet the Grim Reaper. After escaping the city, Hunk was tasked with delivering the virus to Christine Henry in Laurie Village. Hunk's next assignment was on Rockford Island. Hunk was assigned on a mission to deliver a special container from Umbrella's transport terminal in the Antarctic to Rockford Island. The mission was controversial in that Alfred Ashford, the island's base commander, refused to reveal exact details about what was inside of the crate. To this, Hunk possessed clear safety and security hazards, and he was very unsteady about it. His comments were that his unit would be unprepared to handle anything if they didn't know what was inside. Following the fall of Umbrella in 2003, he became a legendary mercenary and devised the original fighting style CQBZ, or Close Quarters Quarantined battle zone, as well as equipment and custom weapons formulated for such the task, such as the zombie bell, the zombie eason, the zombie jammer, and the bite guard. Now, Hunk is only selectable and playable in select games. He's only ever made an appearance in Resident Evil 2. He's always been an extra character. At least that was until they did, I forget what that spin-off game was, but it wasn't that great. And frankly, he's always been like a side character. I would really love to see him become a main protagonist in a Resident Evil game. Hopefully that'll happen someday soon. I'm hoping with the next Resident Evil game coming out being 3, that there's something more to it in there. Also, if they come out with a Resident Evil 8, or some branching storyline for 7, I would love to see Hunk as a playable character, because, well, let's face it, we haven't heard anything from the guy since Resident Evil 2, and he's probably up there with, like, my list of certified badasses in the entire franchise. And to be quite honest, if he were a protagonist in the next game, it would build a lot of hype for the next Resident Evil, you know. Today, we'll be looking at Brad Vickers, a member of the Alpha team from Stars. Now, Brad Vickers is not exactly my favorite character. Reasons for that should be pretty apparent, considering that he abandoned his entire team in the middle of a forest with monsters, with no regard for their safety. Now, even though he did that, he's still an interesting enough character to talk about. I will be doing, or trying to do, all of the characters in order, and I think Brad Vickers is the last character that I need to do a biography on from the first and second game, and then we can move on to the third game. However, I think the only people that I need to do from the third game are the Umbrella Mercenaries, as I have already done one about Geo Valentine. I'm going to go back and reference the frame for which characters were involved, because I haven't played Resident Evil 3 for a very long time now. I know there is the secret ending, where you can be rescued by Barry in a helicopter, but I've also already done him. So I won't be doing him again. Which, now I'm probably going to give a basic description of all the events of each game from now on, to explain which incidents were what, and even incidents that weren't exactly recommended or recognized in the game franchises. And I wanted to do a reading of the novels, but I'm not sure who I would have to talk to about doing that, because that would definitely have some copyright issues, because the novels are still owned by Capcom and their subsidiary partners, and I would rather not have Capcom come after me for anything that I had posted. But without further ado, we now take a look into the life of Brad Vickers. Brad Vickers was a member of the RPD Stars Alpha team. He was the unit's chemical protection specialist and primary helicopter pilot. Vickers wasn't much of a fighter, and it is not mentioned as to whether or not he had served in any combat capacity before his recruitment into the Stars unit. His hometown was DeLuca, so I don't know why that's important. It is in here, though. On July 24th, 1998, the Stars Alpha team was deployed into the Arklay Mountains to investigate the disappearance of Stars Bravo team, where the RPD had lost radio contact with. The previous night, after spotting and confirming Bravo team's crashed helicopter, Alpha team landed near the wreckage and proceeded to investigate. Vickers then panicked and abandoned his teammates in the Raccoon Forest after witnessing the death of his fellow STARS team member, Joseph Frost. Upon regaining his composure, Vickers made multiple attempts to reestablish contact with his STARS teammates whilst flying over the Arklay Mountains and Mansion. However, he was unable to receive messages from the damaged radio carried by any of the survivors. He later assisted them in destroying the Tyrant or T-002 model by dropping a rocket launcher from the chopper, then rescuing Chris, Jill, Rebecca, and Barry moments before the Spencer Mansion exploded. Shortly after the incident, in response to pressure from Umbrella, Police Chief Brian Irons had the STARS disbanded. For fearing for his job, Brad sided with his employer over the decision. The Raccoon City Destruction Incident. During the Raccoon City Destruction Incident, Vickers was spotted by the pursuer, also known as Nemesis, and had been on the run for days. Throughout the city, attempting to evade Nemesis, he was presumed infected by the T-virus after being bitten by a zombie that he had encountered earlier on September 28th. Eventually, Jill caught up with Vickers at the Blackjack Bar, who was currently fending off a zombie and was bitten in the process. Then he warned her of the presence of a monster in the city and its hunt for STARS team members. Later he arrived at the Raccoon City police station, injured, and again encountered the pursuer. Again, this is Nemesis. After encountering Jill once again at the front gate, as he approached Jill to speak with her, he was cornered by the pursuer and suffered horrendous damage to his skull and infected with a powerful strain of the T-virus. He quickly mutated and was able to survive the otherwise fatal head wound, and eventually he became a zombie. Whether he was shot by survivors or left to his own devices is unknown, but he was certainly dead by the morning of October 1st, when the U.S. Air Force dropped a experimental thermobaric bomb on Raccoon City, sanitizing the virus. Unfortunately, it's not known, because if you want to follow the canon lore, you don't really see Brad after his death. But if you do the Easter egg in the original Resident Evil 2, which is not picking up any items or killing any zombies, and you make it to the police station having completed both those criteria, you can actually encounter Brad Vickers underneath the main area of the police station entrance. And if you kill him, you'll be able to pick a key up off of his body, and it will open a special locker in the photo development room, which will give you access to a different weapon and costumes for the characters. Now note, it is very difficult to avoid all the zombies and not kill any of them. However, it can be done, and it is recommended that if you do that, try not to be too worried about replaying certain sections, because you die a lot doing it. Trust me, I did. However, Brad was a more supportive character. I don't think he was ever intended to be a plot device. But I guess he got so much hate for Resident Evil 1, where he left everybody behind, that they figured he was an easy target for killing off in Resident Evil 3. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the new format, and I will catch you guys later.